Every time you place a trade, you're not just fighting the market, you're up against a much sneakier opponent, one that's quietly emptying your trading account from the inside out. We're about to shine a light on the emotional blind spots that are costing you thousands, and I'll show you the one self-awareness technique that can stop the bleeding for good. If you're ready to finally trade with clarity and confidence, this is for you. Let's be honest. Have you ever stared at a chart, knowing your strategy was solid, your analysis was sharp, but you still found a way to lose money? Most traders don't fail because they lack knowledge. They fail because their emotional discipline cracks under pressure. It's that pit in your stomach when you close a trade early, only to watch it blast off to your original price target. It's that simmering frustration after a few small losses that convinces you to throw a Hail Mary on a massive, unplanned trade just to get it all back. Sound familiar? That's called revenge trading, and it's a rabbit hole of anger and desperation. But it's not the only emotional trap. You've got its cousin, FOMO, the fear of missing out. You see a coin pumping, everyone on social media is a genius, and you get this overwhelming urge to jump in, even if it breaks every single rule in your trading plan. You end up buying the top right as the smart money is cashing out, and you're left holding the bag on the way down. Then there's the quiet poison of hope. It's that little voice that whispers, "It'll come back," making you hold a losing trade way past your stop loss. We've all been there. Research in behavioral finance shows the pain of a loss feels about twice as powerful as the pleasure of a win. This loss aversion makes us do completely irrational things, like clinging to a dead trade because closing it feels like admitting we failed. I remember a trade from years ago. The setup was perfect. I followed my plan, got in, and set my stop loss. But then the market dipped. It didn't hit my stop, but fear started creeping in. I watched a small profit turn into a small loss, and I just panicked. I closed the trade, telling myself I was playing it safe. An hour later, the market had ripped right past my original profit target. I didn't just lose out on the profit, I broke my own rules. That single emotional decision cost me money, and worse, my confidence. That night it hit me. My strategy wasn't the problem. I was. The real fight wasn't on the charts, it was in my head. These emotional slips, revenge trading, FOMO, fear, and greed, are the silent account killers. They turn a smart trading plan into a gambling spree. But what if you could turn this all around? What if your greatest weakness could become your greatest strength? The answer isn't to become a robot. The answer is to build one powerful skill: self-awareness. Self-awareness in trading is a superpower. It's the ability to see your own thoughts and feelings without judgment, letting you spot the emotional triggers before they hijack your decisions. To get there, we have to expose the 3 big blind spots where most traders lose the plot. 1. You treat your emotions as the enemy. The first mistake is thinking fear and greed are bad things you have to crush. You can't. They're part of being human. The trick isn't to fight them, it's to start treating them as data. Think about it. That fear you feel isn't just annoying, it's a signal. Maybe it's screaming that your position size is way too big, or that you're trading with scared money. That jolt of greed isn't a character flaw, it's a warning that you're about to abandon your profit-taking strategy. That rush of overconfidence after a big win is a red flag that you're about to get reckless. A self-aware trader doesn't try to suppress these feelings, they observe them, they name them. When anxiety shows up, they ask, "Okay, why am I feeling this?" When they feel the urge to chase a pump, they pause and label it. There's FOMO. Just naming the emotion creates a little space between the feeling and your next action. It shifts you from being a passenger on an emotional roller coaster to a pilot who's actually flying the plane. You stop reacting and start responding based on your plan, not your panic. 2. You try to power through your breaking points. Every trader has an emotional limit, a point where stress and frustration get so high that a bad decision is almost inevitable. A lot of us try to just power through it, to be tough and pretend we're invincible. That's a losing game. When your brain goes into fight or flight mode, it floods your system with cortisol, a stress hormone that's been shown to crank up your appetite for risk while crippling your ability to think clearly. Pushing past your limits is how accounts get blown up. The answer isn't to fight your limits, but to work with them. A self-aware trader knows their tells. They know that after a bad night's sleep or a stressful morning, their emotional battery is low. So instead of forcing trades, they have a game plan. Maybe that means cutting position sizes in half, trading a less crazy market, or just having the discipline to shut it down for the day. This isn't weakness, it's professional self-management. You're admitting you're human and adjusting your strategy to protect your capital. You're fitting your trading to your state of mind, not trying to force a state of mind you can't maintain. That's how you stop the cycle of stress and loss before it even starts. 3. You're trading without a mirror. You can't fix a problem you can't see. The third blind spot is trading without any system for honest self-reflection. If you don't have one, you're basically doomed to repeat the same mistakes because you can't see the patterns causing them. The single best tool for this is a trading journal. And I don't just mean logging your entries and exits. A real psychological trading journal is a mirror for your mindset. For every single trade, you should be noting how you feel. Before you click buy, ask yourself, what am I feeling? Confident? Anxious? Impatient? Rate your focus from 1 to 10. Then do it again after the trade is closed. Did I follow my plan? If not, what feeling made me deviate? Be brutally honest. Over time, this journal will become the most valuable trading book you could ever own. It will show you patterns that are impossible to deny. You might discover you overtrade every time you have a big win because you feel invincible. Or maybe you'll see that your worst losses always happen on Friday afternoons when you're tired and just want to make something happen. Suddenly, these aren't just vague feelings, they're data points that expose your personal triggers. And with that data, you can create new rules to protect yourself from yourself. For instance, after 3 winning trades, I must take a 30-minute break, or no new trades after 2 p.m. on Fridays. Your journal turns fuzzy emotional issues into concrete problems with practical solutions. Now, getting this self-aware takes practice, and the journal is your gym. To help you hit the ground running, I've put together a free downloadable mindset journal template based on everything we've talked about. It has the exact prompts you need to start tracking your emotions and finding your patterns today. The link is right there in the description. It's the first step to turning this knowledge into real results in your account. So, we've uncovered the blind spots, seeing emotions as enemies, ignoring our limits, and trading without any mirror. How do we tie this all together into one powerful technique you can use every day? You do it by adopting the observer mindset. The observer mindset is simply the practice of stepping back and watching your own thoughts and feelings as if you were watching a movie. You are not the anger. You are not the fear. You are the one who is aware of the anger and fear. This is the heart of self-awareness. It's not about feeling nothing. It's about not letting your feelings call the shots. Here's how you actually practice it day to day. First, start your trading day with a pre-session check-in. This is just you and your journal. Ask yourself, how am I showing up today, mentally and physically? Are you tired, stressed, or are you focused and ready? This sets your emotional baseline and tells you if you need to adjust your game plan, like maybe trading smaller. Second, during your session, you actively play the role of the observer. When a strong emotion hits, that urge to revenge trade, that fear of a loss, don't react. Just pause, take a breath, open your journal and write it down. Emotion, anxiety, thought, this trade is moving against me, I need to get out now. The simple act of writing it down creates a pause, reinforcing your role as the observer, not the victim of the feeling. Finally, at the end of the day, you do a post-session review. Look at your journal. Connect the dots between the emotions you felt and the actions you took. Where did you nail your plan? Where did you mess up? What was the trigger? This is where the real learning happens. You're turning your daily experiences, good and bad, into lessons that will make you better tomorrow. This whole process, the check-in, the real-time observation, and the review, is the one technique. It's self-awareness in action. Day by day, it trains you to separate your rational self from your emotional self so you can finally execute your strategy with discipline. Winning at trading isn't about finding some magic strategy that never loses. It's about mastering your own mind so you can actually execute the strategy you have. The market will always do its thing, but the one variable you have total control over is you. When you understand your emotional blind spots and use the observer mindset, you stop being a victim of your own impulses and start becoming the disciplined trader you're meant to be. Your emotions stop being your biggest liability and instead become your best source of information. So, stop letting your emotions quietly drain your account. Download the journal, start practicing the observer mindset, and take back control. The road to consistent profits is paved with self-awareness. If this was helpful, a like is always appreciated, and subscribe for more deep dives into trading psychology. The perfect next step on this journey is my other video on building a rock-solid trading plan. Check it out. Trade safe, and I'll see you in the next one.